run a trap like whoa. Yeah.
Hey guys, Parfax here. Alright, today I'm going to bring you a video about how I reached level 50, what I would do better if I could go over and do it again, and kind of my overall thoughts on the 0 to 50. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so I'm here on my Orc, Stamina Sorc, and I'm actually 172 CP. So I actually did get to where I wanted to. I've already gotten a couple of the helms, and I haven't got any shoulders yet, but I've been, let's see where are they at, stacking keys. I got 4 gold, 4 silver. So when the new patch drops, I'll be able to get whatever shoulder I want. And I know, you know, it's still RNG, but that's under a different video. Alright, so how easy was it to get for me to 50? What's the best way to get to 50? And how did I do it and how to do it better? This video is not going to be too long. I actually did record this video when I had 157 champion points, but it's actually been a few days, so I'm going to go ahead and re-record it, and plus I wasn't too satisfied with the video itself, so that's kind of why there's been a big delay. Plus I had a few personal issues to go through. Nothing too bad, just kept me busy. So, alright, so when you decide to make a character, if it's an alternate character, it's going to be really easy for you. If you have a friend, all you have to do is spend your first day, get your sky shards, get some lore books if you'd want to, and after that, you're just going to go straight to Rothgar here, and then you're going to go to Old Orsinium. There's a dozen different grind spots inside there. There's one main one that most people go to, and then if you complete a small quest, you can actually go inside, and there's probably another 2 grinding spots in there, so maybe not quite a dozen, but a lot of times people tend to shorten up a few grinding spots by cutting a few things off. So if you do it that way, the grinding time itself, it's probably only going to take you a couple hours. And I know Old Orsinium, everybody knows about it, but I figured I'd mention it because that is how I got from 11 to 40. I went there, even if there's 2-3 people there, just asked a group. I mean, I was in a group of 4 people and it was still leveling me very fast. If you can get a group of 2, that's awesome. You do get a buff when you go into Rothgar if you're not level 50, so you will have a lot of extra health and stamina and magic. So it's actually going to make you a lot more survivable than you should be against mobs like that. And if you have champion points, go ahead and throw them in. So now, the people who don't have champion points, like I started off in this game, I leveled to 11 without buying the DLC, or I should say subscribing. And I come to really realize that this game is a subscription game. There's a lot of benefits you get from subscribing. You get crown points. You get this crafting bag, which is absolutely amazing. And, I mean, you just get 10% experience. You get all the download content. The game is a sub-game. I know they say that it's not a sub-game. It's a buy-to-play game. And you can buy to play, but unless you're just looking for the solo PvE experience, you're going to want to buy the game. And then you're going to want to sub. They do have a gold edition that has some download content, but, I mean, if you plan on buying this game, go to Walmart, spend 20 bucks, get the original copy, and then just sub. This is a sub game, and it's worth every bit of the $15 a month sub. You get crown points, which are going to level up your horse. They're going to allow you to buy crown experience points so you can level faster. It's going to allow you to do a lot of things. And to be honest, if you're going to play an MMO, you should sub anyway, because subbing just helps the game progress. I mean, you can buy the content and put money in otherwise, but why would you want to waste your money when you can get crown points? You can sub long enough to get enough crown points to buy everything you want, and then stop subbing. Now, having said that, they're going to come out more DLC, and you'll never make all the money you need to buy all the download content. But if you really don't care about the Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, and you just want to, do PvP, you can do the Imperial City, and I would suggest definitely Orsinium because of Rothgar and a Maelstrom Arena, that kind of thing. But enough about that. So basically, I know I kind of got off on a tangent there. I level to 11 by questing. You can grind main spots, but for the most part, it's not that quick early level. There are a few spots you can get later level that are pretty good, but for the most part, early level, it sucks. It sucks a lot. Now, once you hit level 40, you can go ahead and go to Cold Harbor and come over here to the Vial Laboratory. That is a great grinding spot. If you don't know exactly where it is or what it looks like, if you look at any of my 1 to 50 grinding videos that I have on my channel, the last spot is always that. And I found that I went there with just 12 champion points. I had level 10 gear, so it wasn't like I had good gear at all. And I went there and I easily killed them at level 40. So once you hit level 40, I suggest going there, not only because it's a really good grind spot, but because one of the most important things you have to level in the game is your Fighter's Guild. Now, originally, the way you used to level, this would actually be maxed really quickly, but since you're going to Rothgar and grinding those mobs, it doesn't actually max it. So I'm actually in the process of painstakingly leveling this up because Dawnbreaker, as really any class, especially for PvP, is just one of the most powerful abilities in the game, let alone Trap Beast, which I need to morph, and the passives. So you want to get that max too. If you're a magic class, you definitely want to work on the Mage Guild. Even if you're a stamina class, Meteor is great in PvE, and sometimes in PvP it can be pretty good depending on your class. Nightblade, it's really good on Nightblade. Not as much as Sork, because basically everybody uses Dawnbreaker, and if you're not using Dawnbreaker, Sorks we're either going to use Negate or Overload. So you don't really need it for PvP, but it's still really good. But for PvE, it's amazing. Especially, I mean, I love the Sork. I main Sork on Parfax, but our ultimates are pretty garbage except for Overload. And Overload's really good because it gives you a third bar. So you can put a bunch of things in your third bar and then go from there. So, alright, that's how I got to level 50. Basically, I got to level 11, and then I went to Rothgar. And once I got from Rothgar, I got to 40, and then I went to Cold Harbor. It's not nearly as in-depth as it used to be. It used to be, 15 different grind spots. I checked a few of them out. They're not really that great anymore. There are a few later ones once you get in your 30s, especially on the DC side. The Alakir Desert is super fantastic. That's really good. There's a couple other spots that are still pretty good that you can actually still grind and be very effective at grinding. But up until the point where you start being able to kill a bunch of mobs and being able to gather a bunch of mobs, just go to Rothgar, tag team with somebody, and do it that way. So one of the last things I will stress, and I don't know if I have any with me, I do not, yes I do, is get all training gear. This is a must. What I did was I actually farmed money before I got to level 10 because I knew I wanted all training gear and I had somebody craft me training. I had to post in chat to find somebody, and they eventually found somebody and they crafted me level 10 training gear. And I know this is champion point 20, but this is actually what I still use because my crafting is not quite up to where it needs to be. As you can see, I got a PvP set on right now. I'm just wearing some Hundings, Night Mother, and then Endurance right now. That's what I'm wearing right now, but that'll be a different video. But yes, training is very, very important. You want to have it on every piece of gear, all 8 to 9 pieces, depending on if you're wearing, dual wield or bow. You want to have it on every piece. And then the last thing is I don't have any with me, I don't think. No. But either go to the Crown Store. And if you sub, you're actually going to get credits, so you can go ahead and buy this anyway. So utility experience, get Crown Store experiences. I just bought the 5-pack. I actually still have one scroll left, because it is a 2-hour scroll. So I found myself, once I got into the champion points, kind of just grinding with my enlightenment in one Civic Ambrosia, which is the crafted version of it, but it only lasts a half hour unless you have your alchemy passive up, which I don't. It lasts a half hour. So I actually found myself drinking 1 to 2 of those per grind session instead of having to actually go ahead and spend my Crown Store points. Now, I'm 160 champion points, which is what I need to be for PvP. Okay, and now I can wear any piece of gear in the game, but I'm not done there. In order to, do Maelstrom Arena and that kind of thing, I need more champion points, and Maelstrom Arena is something you're going to need for your PvP stuff. So I'm still working to get more champion points, but right now my main focus is getting keys. I have another character on AD. It is, like I said, this was it really was my account, but my wife played on it for my computer. And she has I think it's a Wood Elf Templar on, I think it's AD. And I'm probably just going to end up kind of somewhat gearing her out, just some cheap gear, so that I can go run more keys, because that's going to be a big thing, because I need to get a 2-piece helm. I actually have a 2-piece helm. I have Engine Guardian. I didn't know that. I went ahead and got my bronze key, and I went ahead and turned it in, because when I turned it in, I didn't know that all the keys were basically the same once the next patch hits. And I actually got a champion point 60 Engine Guardian shoulders, which is extremely rare. And then in my first run through Darkshade Caverns, I ended up getting a Engine Guardian helm. So I actually have it, but I accidentally deconstructed it. So I'm actually in the process of talking to ZeniMax to try to get those shoulders back, because at the time I forgot that you can deconstruct stuff from your bank. Now I have everything locked, but so that's kind of what I did. If I could change something, I would have just immediately bought ESO Plus. I would have gathered more Sky Shards. Actually, I've been kind of in the process of doing that. I've kind of slacked here. I haven't done any in Reaper's March here. Maybe one. I haven't even went into Green Shade. I've gotten most of these. These are some of the delves. I didn't go into many of the delves. As you can see, I gathered up a decent chunk of them. I figured up I need about 10 more skill points, so I've got to get those. And I didn't realize that once you hit level 50, it actually unlocks the whole entire area instead of actually having to do all the quests. You don't even have to do the main story quest. I'm almost done with it, so I'll probably just go back and finish it. That way, I can get the skill points I need, because I actually don't have that long a period of time, and then I can get, it's like 5 skill points. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then you can do the Mages Guild for skill points, but that's down the road. I'm not too worried about that. So alright, that's how I got to 50. I know it's not a very in-depth guide, and I really struggled with actually making this video because I wanted it to be more in-depth. But, I mean, there's really nothing in-depth about it anymore. It's basically grind Rothgar. If you guys want to, I can make a non-Rothgar grinding guide, and I can do that, but it's going to be a lot of the videos that I've actually already published. It's going to be a lot of the same grinding spots. It's going to be a little different in the very early game, but it's going to take you significantly longer period of time to do. So alright guys, this video went a little bit longer than I actually intended it to, but it's nice to get back making videos. I'm going to have a CP grinding spot location I'm going to have just a couple places where you can grind some CP up, where I've grinded, and I'll go over maybe some locations that previously were good that aren't any good anymore. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked this video at all, go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button anyway, because I'm going to be coming out with tons of ESO content. I'm going to have PvP videos on my Stamina Sork. I'm going to possibly, once this class actually gets done and finished, I'm going to be, switching over to a couple other characters. I'm thinking about doing a Magic DK. Going to be talking about the huge update that we have coming in just a couple weeks for the PC. And that way, even if you're on the console, you can kind of gauge it and see what you kind of need to do before it comes out. And I'll probably go ahead and make a video like that, saying the things you need to do before the next big update releases. Alright guys, thanks, and I'll see you next time.